Hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for over a year and 3 months and counting, because that's right, the daily stream streak remains strong. I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment you call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for the next, I'd say 2 to 3 hours. We'll see how stream energy is today. But before I begin today's stream, allow me to start with a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, Rain. Thank you for, actually, you even beat me. CD23. Congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of the SCP Foundation staff today. I.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Meanwhile, Sleepless Dragon, Mamori, Lone Claw, Amber, Amazing, Blue Phantom, Rave Haven, Senior Researcher Alex, 369 Destroyer, Puppet Boy, Drift Spawn, Creepypasta George Harrison, Eternus Transmographus, Silent Follower. Everyone who I've just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site 42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, interns Rain, Hunter Mark, Malachi, AM, Goober, Terror, Musical Sand, Zen, Hama, Rar Caution, Wyatt Taylor, and Griffith. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here punctually. And thank you for being here today, interns, just for being you. Now, as a reminder, this upcoming stream we're doing today is sponsored by the See Dr. Sherman at MetroCon Tampa. That's all it is. I'm going to be at MetroCon Tampa, not this coming weekend, but next weekend. It's the last weekend in July going into August. And so if you want to see me in person, if you want to hear my SCP Foundation's YAP panels on Friday and Saturday, because I'll be running 2 panels this year, then come join us at MetroCon Tampa. I'll be there for the whole weekend, celebrating the convention, greeting the SCP Foundation fandom in person, and celebrating mine own birthday. So we will be having a raucous good time. Now, for today's stream subject, we have a double-barreled stream subject day today. The first one, many of you saw the title, and we will be talking about that. After we talk about the title, we will also be reading SCP-8789, which is the second to last entry of the This Is My JamCon contest, at which point I will be free of attempting to read every entry of This Is My JamCon, as well as guessing which songs they are based on, to the best of my ability. But one stream subject at a time. You've seen from the stream title, the woke right keeps trying to give the SCP anomalies pronouns. And much like the Starwalker, it's pissing me off. What am I talking about? Well, you're all familiar with the fact that to be the very best, like no one ever was when it comes to the SCP Foundation broadcast sphere, I am present on multiple social media platforms. Now, of course, we only broadcast to SCP Foundation staff members. We would not want to breach secrecy after all. So, we make sure to use algorithmic channels in the big corporations to make sure that we are only broadcasting to SCP Foundation staff and others who are also allowed to be part of the streams. Our Containment Hazard Assessment team is a very exclusive club, don't you know? But one of those social media streams I am forced to stream and broadcast on for the interest of spreading the SCP Foundation signal to all of our staff members is Facebook. And once again, Facebook is the bane of my existence. You see, today we posted a video, and it was a very simple video. It was about someone making the old tired prank. Oh my, what happens if we put a picture of 096 on 173? Blink, blink, annoyed face. And so I explained, they asked what would happen if you talked to 173. It's a statue. You can't talk to it. It doesn't talk back. It's a statue. But furthermore, they referred to SCP-173 as a he. Once again, 173 is a statue. It doesn't have a gender. It's a statue. And so, in dismantling this terrible intern with their terrible questions and educating the community on proper protocols here at the Foundation, I said, A, why would you talk to 173? It's a statue. B, it's not a he. A, because it's a statue. But B, because all anomalies in containment are its. Whether it is a statue, whether it's an iPod 131, whether it's 096, the Shy Guy, all anomalies, if they are in containment, are its. They are not he's. They are not she's. I do not care if it is your best friend who you discovered had an anomaly and now very sadly had to lock into containment for testing. I don't care. They're still an it as long as they are a contained anomaly. And we do this for very simple reasons. When you have an anomaly in containment, it is an it because if you take the time and care to humanize the anomaly, to grant it its proper preferred pronouns, then you're going to see it as a human being. You're not going to see it as an object in containment. And maybe, if you see this anomaly as a human being, you might start to feel bad that we are imprisoning your best friend in containment for basically no crime except being an anomaly. And maybe you're going to sit there and think, oh, I feel so bad that the anomaly's in containment. Maybe I'll let it out. And then we have a containment breach. Then we breach secrecy. Now humanity knows about the anomalies. This is what we are trying to stop. Which is why it is operational security procedure for all anomalies to please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. They are its. They are not he's or she's. It is security personnel's protocols. We follow the rules. We are the Foundation, after all. I see Dr. Sumerian has opinions on this from the Ethics Committee. I would expect the Ethics Committee liaison to have opinions on this. And of course, like with every anomaly, there are exceptions to the rules. Some anomalies, if they are hired on as staff members, such as Dr. Clef, Dr. Sumerian himself, see, Dr. Sumerian's an anomaly, but still a him, it's because through loyalty to the Foundation and usefulness, they have regained their pronoun privileges. Now, secondarily, and I don't like this exception, there are some anomalies which are seen as site pets, as mascots. And so, Josie the half-cat, you'll notice Josie's documentation is riddled with she's and hers. Not cheese. Remember, do not feed Josie cheese. She's and hers. And that's because sometimes Foundation staff are human beings, they are flawed, and they break protocol. I don't like it. They should do better. But I cannot police every single document on the SCP database. I am but one intrepid site director. And now, third and foremost, as an exception, we may grant pronoun privileges to anomalies in which, if we didn't, it would make it more difficult to contain them. I forget the designation for the anomaly, so I'll look it up real quick. But the anomaly I'm looking up is the Greek deity, formerly known as Aphrodite, now known as Isaac. Yes, SCP-7454. SCP-7454 is the anomaly formerly the deity Aphrodite, now known as Isaac post-transition. The Greek deities in general, in containment, are highly powerful anomalies. They are constantly smiting us for perceived insult. And so, luckily, many of them choose to stay in containment rather than be out among the people, and we facilitate that. It makes our jobs easier to keep these particular anomalies happy. So yes, that is another exception to the rule. If we have to properly gender the anomaly to keep it contained, fine, so be it, because at the end of the day, proper containment is our first and highest priority. What about 049, Intern Hama? Does SCP-049 require pronouns to be contained? No. It's an it. We can keep it locked up, whether it likes it or not. The same with 096, please. Go through the SCP-096 document at your leisure. See how many times we refer to SCP-096 as he. You won't find any because we don't. SCP-096 is an it, just like every other one. Now, I see that Dr. Sumerian is giving an ethics committee liaison answer to this, and I do respect the ethics committee, mostly because I'm afraid of them. And there are certain multiversal universes or divisions within the SCP Foundation where these rules are bent, and I do not have jurisdiction over those divisions. I know the anomalous engagement, the AEED, their division does properly pronoun the anomalies. That is their prerogative. It is not within my jurisdiction to judge and stop them. Just as they remember, in my house we do things my way, in their house they do things their way. Oh, yes. But the reason we're bringing this up is because on the Facebook, when I referred to the proper pronoun parlance protocols, as I often have to because staff, especially the interns, can be a little unprofessional from time to time, one of the interns, the failure intern of the day, the one who's being called out for being a failure intern, SCP-096, Shy Guy! All caps, because saying guy means that I'm going to refer to it as a he, just because it has a cute little nickname. SCP-529, actual quote from the SCP Wiki. Staff are not permitted to feed cheese to her. She will become distressed if not given sufficient cheese. referring to the SCP as it is to dehumanize them to keep you safe. It's not some weird political pronoun thing. Intern from Facebook. You're the one who brought politics into this. We are a secretive organization containing things that will murder, let alone breach secrecy, and cause the entirety of human civilization to collapse if they find out that anomalies are real. I don't care about your left or right-wing politics. I care about the protocols of the SCP Foundation. You, very funnily enough, quoted SCP-529's document to me, Josie the Half-Cat, which, as I said, is an exception because it's a team mascot, a little cutesy anomaly that people are unprofessional about, despite the fact that I dislike that happening. It's an unprofessional thing that happens from time to time. But you're defending the use of pronouns for the character of Shy Guy. Shy Guy, whose document, if you read it, always refers to it as it. I wonder why you chose to use 529 for your argument instead of the actual anomaly you were talking about. Is it because you knew that you were wrong? Is it because you knew that you were being woke right in my comment section for some reason? Honestly. And you know, if I were my author, regular Sherm, on the higher pataphysical narrative level, where the SCP database was just a creative writing community, one that is just for fun and hobbies, maybe my author would find it funny that someone on the right side of politics arguing about pronouns is sitting here being super woke about pronouns, is sitting here trying to make sure that I gender the barely sentient murder monster properly. I wonder what that's about. I wonder if the hypocrisy of this stance is giving a laugh to any of the woke left who are probably in this chat right now yucking it up, much like my author is. I wonder if the political ramifications of my stance of dehumanizing anomalies and how terrible that is for their mental health has some sort of political allegory for fascism and why maybe it shouldn't be that way. I wonder, indeed. Curiouser and curiouser. Bored as hell. So they're fine with misgendering actual people, but they draw the line at barely sentient fictional monsters. I guess. Oh no, he's Shy Guy, and therefore he's a guy. The Shy Guy, all it does is cry until its face is seen, and then it murders. It cries and murders. It does not care what you call it. It is an it. I don't know why you're so woke about this, Mr. Right-Winger, with your pronoun politics all of a sudden. You saw nothing. So yes, that is the mood I'm in today. Just a reminder, all anomalies in Foundation custody are its. If Dr. Cimmerian in the chat gave you some very interesting lore about the Ethics Committee's stance on proper pronoun parlance protocols for the Foundation, I am very interested in Dr. Cimmerian's viewpoint. I did not read it because I am currently educating staff as to the Site-42 and general SCP Foundation lore on the subject. There is, of course, nuance within different departments, and I am sure that I would agree with Dr. Cimmerian on most of what he said. I just didn't read it because I was in the middle of informing you of my perspective. This is my stream after all. This is my house, Site-42, and my rules apply in my house. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, I will take part in a little general. See, I put little and general together to get literal there. That's what happens when you talk faster than your brain works. So, I'm going to take place in a little general Q&A before we move on to reading the SCP document for today's briefing. Starting with Taylor. Thank you for sending a turn it up to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure that Kitty Cat DJ was quite humorous to the chat. I'm sure the whimsy helped the chat to understand better the point I was trying to get across. Rave Haven, thank you for your 7 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Wowza, 7 months. Howdy again, Director. Howdy to you too, Rave Haven. 7 months as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate the research you're doing to help us win the battle against the interns. This is how the chat gets more members. It's how we unlock more member emojis on the YouTube channel. Remember, we just uploaded 5 new member emojis to the channel, courtesy of Junior Researcher Sally's intrepid work. Now, I will tell you this. Junior Researcher Sally delivered to me 41 new emotes for the members. And unfortunately, YouTube limits how many emotes you can have based on how many members you have as a channel. So we need more members to unlock more member emojis. So continue to keep the memberships coming if I want to add the other 36 member emotes to the chat. Superior Chief, thank you for sending a laughing disco to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they appreciated the dope-ass silly moves on the dance floor. 2378-JPJ, thank you for sending 4 doubloons to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will spend it wisely. Overseer Skywarp, thank you for your 4 months as an overseer here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and service and your leadership in helping us gain those member emojis. Greetings, Site Director. How was your time at the convention? And I'm treating everyone to some free ice cream. Oh, an ice cream party from Overseer Skywarp. Very kind of you. Chat, please appreciate this. Now, I will say the Open Sauce Convention was a rousing success. We have made several networking connections in the greater content creator space on YouTube. We have befriended a lot of people, though some of which already knew about the SCP Foundation, and some of which we introduced it to them for the first time. Trust me, there will be some dope collabs in the future. And remember, there is still MetroCon coming up at the end of the month if you would like to see me in person there. MetroCon Tampa. Rave Haven, thank you for gifting a membership to the Site 42 Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e. chat. If you got that membership from Rave Haven, make sure to thank them for their generosity. Stoop Girl, thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am certain that they found cleaning up yet another glitter bomb very fun for them. Site 43, thank you for sending a star and an eagle to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You have now made them a 1-star chat, and they now have a eagle to aspire to fly high. Intern Mussington, thank you for sending another laughing disco. Some more comical dance moves are taking place. Very nice. Intern Justin, thank you for sending sparkles. Yet another glitter bomb. Chat, you better get cleaning. Intern Mussington, thank you for sending a laughing disco and a flow state. They have danced so comically that they are locking the hell in. I love to see it, chat. Good work. Superior Chief, thank you for sending another glitter bomb to the chat. I'm sure they'll enjoy cleaning that up. Get the broom, everybody. Luna Moon, thank you for sending comical cat ears to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they found it quite humorous and adorable. Superior Chief, thank you for sending a star. The chat is now a 2-star chat, working their way up to 5 stars. I believe in them. They'll make it. Rave Haven, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Please grab yourself a fruited cake on your way past the commissary. How would the Foundation react to the roaring from Deltarune? So, we have very little details on the roaring thus far, but any sort of darkness overtaking the land does not sound very good to the Foundation. It seems like it would be rather anomalous and abnormal, meaning that we would spend our time trying to prevent such an anomaly from occurring. Studio Spider, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself a Chica Cherry Cola on your way past the commissary. Status report director, made it past that thing. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you could do that. Oh, it's hard enough on its own. And out of Site 5, thanks to Mobile Task Force support, and I'm on my way back to Site 42. It'll be good to have you back safe and sound. Superior Chief, thank you for sending a power potion to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I am certain that they will do extra powerful work thanks to your generosity. Superior intern, researcher. Wait a minute. Seal, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. And you're saying, P.S., I become an overseer. Oh, well, in that case, Overseer Seal, thank you for upgrading your membership to being a overseer here at Site 42. I hope you are ready for the intense responsibility. After all, even I have turned down overseer promotions at every turn because I kind of like my position here as a site director. I would not very much like it to have to deal with the thing overseers deal with. But we appreciate your willingness to do so. Let's see. Yes, I do see that Overseer Deborah Seal has become an overseer. Welcome to the head honcho ship. I hope you are ready. Oh, and please grab yourself a ambrosia salad on your way past the commissary, Overseer Seal. Mars Luna Moon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself a Choco Taco on your way past the commissary. If all SCPs are its, then what if it specifically asks to be referred to as something else? Unsure of the rules there. Sorry, just curious. Well, I'm happy to answer that for you, Mars Luna Moon. The answer is, we don't care what an anomaly's pronouns are unless it's a requirement of keeping them contained. So, let's say that I, for instance, Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42, am a he, him. If I were to be deemed anomalous, then at least during the testing section, where I was contained, it would be upon staff's duties to refer to me as an it for the duration that I am seen to be anomalous and tested upon. Now, if my anomaly is to a point where I will be unable to work as a staff member, too unpredictable, I would not be allowed to continue my duties, then I would be stuck as an it. Even someone with a reputation as sparkling as myself among the community, I would be resorted to an its, and I would appreciate it because I know the rules here at the Foundation. I say, not knowing what hypocrisy that might be down the line. But if I was promoted back up to my staff position, because my anomaly would not interfere with my job, then I would be referred to as he, him again, just like Dr. Clef is referred to as he, him, despite being anomalous, just like Dr. Sumerian is referred to as he, him, despite being anomalous. Now, if the entity is supremely powerful and choosing to stay contained and one of their requirements is that we refer to them by the pronouns they prefer, then we will make an exception. Aphrodite, formerly the god Aphrodite, now known as Isaac, is a anomaly in containment. And we refer to Isaac as he, him, because otherwise he will not stay in containment and will probably smite us. So it's just easier to give in to that particular request if it means maintaining containment. But your standard anomalies are its. Superior Chief, thank you for sending a clock it to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will clock it with the proper pronoun parlance protocols, as we have discussed. 100 stars, thank you for sending a 100 to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure that they will keep it 100 at your urging. Rave Haven, thank you for donating again to say, oh yeah, I forgot we had Choco Tacos. Man, I missed those things when they were discontinued. So glad to have them back. Alright, what's happening here? Falcon, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. You sent them 5 stars, giving them a prestige rank and making them a 1-star chat yet again. Let's see if they can make their way back up to 5 stars. Then Skywarp sending stars, but sent a total of 8 stars. So congratulations, Overseer Skywarp. You have made them a 5-star team with another prestige rank. Congratulations, chat, on making it to 5-star status. Let's see how long you hold on to it. Stoop Girl, thank you for sending the chat a makeup brush. I am sure they will keep it cute and savage at your urging. Skywarp, thank you for sending a litany of 100 glitter bombs to the chat. It sounds like you guys are going to be doing an all-nighter with the broom, huh? Sorry, that's 101 glitter bombs. 101 glitter bombs for you all to keep up. Good luck. The air is more glitter than oxygen at this rate, probably. Mars Luna Moon, thank you for sending 10 more glitter bombs. You have 10% more glitter to deal with. Good luck, chat. Overseer Seal, thank you for donating again to say not the glitter again. You know, I don't know what the obsession is, honestly. I don't understand it. Intern Help, thank you for sending sunshine on a cloudy day to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure it brightened their days. Rave Haven, thank you for donating again to say, Director Sherman, can I have Keter duty so that I do not have to clean all that up? That would be very appreciated. You know? Approved. Yeah, approved. I'll approve that for you. Serial Designation Omega, thank you for sending 7 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You have made them a 2-star team with another 2 prestige ranks. Let's see if they can make it back up to a 5-star team. Superior Chief, thank you for sending another glitter bomb to the chat. Keep cleaning, chat. Giggles? No, GG. GG, thank you for sending a star to the chat. They are now a 3-star team, working their way back up to 5. Intern Torres, thank you for sending your first donation of today's stream. Please grab yourself a guava juice on your way past the commissary. Who gave the food truck guys access to the level 3 parking garage? Food doesn't warrant a security breach, even if it is a good taco guy. Hey, I'm the one who approved the good taco guy getting a good parking spot, okay? And my administrative right as site director, I want the good tacos within walking range of my office. Oh, thank you. Skywarp, thank you for sending 41 sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will much appreciate cleaning up this entire pile of glitter that seems to be forming right now. Overseer Seal, thank you for donating again to say, can we force the D-Class to clean the glitter by convincing the glitter is an anomaly? I mean, we can force the D-Class to do a lot of things because we're in charge of them. They just have to follow orders or redacted happens to them. But, no, it's a character building exercise for the interns. Intern Noli, thank you for sending a flower to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they found it very pretty. Intern Harley, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Please grab yourself a mint julep on your way past the commissary. Hello there, I'm Harley Sawyer, and you are Dr. Sherman. Okay, good to meet you. Harley Sawyer, intern, are you someone I should know about? I keep seeing people in the chat referring to you by name, but I'm unfamiliar with your game. Well, interesting to see you anyways. Maybe I will learn what chat's obsession with you is along the way. Noli, thank you for sending 2 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team, making them a 5-star team yet again. Congratulations, chat, on being a 5-star Containment Hazard Assessment team. Also, for all of you in the chat who have recently realized that chat stands for Containment Hazard Assessment Team, I wonder how you're faring now that I keep saying it. Do you realize it now in a different light when I say it so often? Because I've always said it this often. Intern Nelly, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself a glass of tea on your way past the commissary and make sure that it's hot in her. Can you tell me what SCP-1129 is? Well, I do believe you could have just checked the database for this, but in return for your generous donation, I will take a peek at that in the database. SCP-1129, codename Hyperarousal Response. Large object of apparently biological origin. Its composition is largely unknown. Seems to flow past any and all objects that approach it, temporarily breaking apart and changing its own dimensions as needed. No DNA samples detected from testing. Possibly exists in the 3 and 3/3 spatial dimension. Possibly sentient. When any sentient being makes visual contact with it, they will immediately enter stage 1, characterized by heightened flight reflex. They will attempt to flee from it by any means possible, so run away! Human subjects later describe this as being overcome with intense fear and unthinking hysteria. Stage 2 will be heightened aggression and hostility towards SCP-1129. However, when they see it again, they will return to stage 1 being super afraid of it. So they vacillate between being very, very scared and very, very angry. Well, that does sound like the very fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering vibe that we have learned from Force users. Skywarp, thank you for what I think is your first donation of today's stream. Please, as well as being a member, please grab yourself a coconut milk on your way past the commissary. I will create a tidal wave of glitter. Containment Hazard Assessment Team, I hope you are prepared. Extra brooms are in the janitorial closet as needed. Stoop Girl, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Please grab yourself a fruit salad yummy yummy on your way past the commissary. I'm going to dive into the glitter pile and none of you can stop me. Anomalous Intern Evie. Well, I assume that there are many, many piles like that, so it would be rather hard to stop you, although that does mean that it's going to spread everywhere, causing the rest of staff to be very frustrated, similar to jumping in the autumn leave piles. So, just beware of what your irresponsibility will cause other members of the Containment Hazard Assessment Team to think of you. Skywarp, Thank you for then following through on your promise and sending 146 sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I must believe that at least a few interns have drowned and perished due to this onslaught. We will have to honor their memories by cleaning up this mess. It was actually 150? Okay, you actually broke the counter on my end, so I couldn't see the last 4. Interesting. Intern Torres, thank you for donating again to say, sorry, Doc, didn't know it was you. He was not very descriptive when telling me who let him down there. I'll send him back down and have someone make him a guest badge. Very good. Thank you. Tacos rule. Rave Haven, thank you for donating again to say, file for Harley Sawyer, scientist from Playtime Co. Oh, okay. I see. All right, we're still working on containing the Playtime Co. I guess this Harley Sawyer would be a useful person of interest to interview. So, good to have you aboard, Harley. Don't mind the amnestic drugs after you're done. You will stop being nauseous eventually. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, have you ever met 055 and 057? Well, I have met overseers from time to time in my work, but they tend to be rather secretive. Therefore, it's been a long time since I've even seen an overseer, if I'm being honest. 053 attended the last 04 meeting. I'll have to go check some of my journal entries, because perhaps I'm suffering from some amnestics right now. Or maybe that's part of their cognitohazard to make you forget them, now that I think about it. What was I thinking about? Raccoon Dog, thank you for your 1-year anniversary as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hey, Doc, just swing by to say hi. Sweet coat. Well, thank you very much. The site director coat is a pretty sweet coat. Thank you to Agent Goose for getting it upgraded for me. And also Raccoon Dog, hey, it's just good to see you. It's been a minute, and I hope you're doing well out there in the field. Kotana Azumi, thank you for sending a doubloon to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure that they will enjoy having a little more spending cash, especially with all the work that they have to clean up today. They should deserve an extra tip or something. Have you ever heard of a man called Ion? Intern Tomcats, yes, I am familiar with Ion, and, of course, Boomaro are rivals when it comes to the Church of the Broken God and the Sarkics. Skywarp, thank you for donating again to say, do not worry, staff. The glitter is biodegradable and is easily gotten rid of with just water. It is simply like cotton candy. Interesting. Intern Hypercharge, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Who is Dr. Wright? I've heard about them a couple times, but didn't look too much into her. Kotana Azumi, let me pull up Dr. Wright's personnel dossier. Dr. Wright's personnel file. Dr. Agatha Wright, known by alias Dr. Wright, security clearance level redacted, SCP researcher and analyst, known mostly for being voraciously horny for several of the anomalies. Several rules about not fraternizing with anomalies were set by Dr. Wright's actions. However, Dr. Wright's actions as a higher-level researcher protect her from certain punishments. SCP-457, the Burning Man, is a anomaly documented by Dr. Wrights, as well as SCP-978, codename the Desire Camera. Alright, something is wrong here. Can I please... No, no. Pinboards, snapshot, privacy, flow. Where are my extensions? Where is my dark mode reader? This is flat. Why is the wiki flash banging me again? I had this set and now it's gone. Cleaner, shaders, mods. Are the extensions now mods? Did you change the name of it and make it harder for me? There we go, extensions. Alright, turn it off and on again. Alright. Let's see if that fixes things. Nope, Wikidot is still being rude. Nobody liked that. Is the front page still... Yeah, they changed something in frickin' Wikidot, and now the dark mode that I have is screwed up. Rude. Absolutely rude. Alright, returning to chat. Feel free to look more into Dr. Wright's at your leisure. Harley, thank you for donating again to say, Dr. Sherman, I can't leave Playtime Co. because my heart and other body parts got wired into the Playtime Co. structure, therefore I can't breathe in gas. Well, that's fine. We have found a way to get you an uplink so we can interview you by proxy. So, yes, that does omit you from having any snacks from the commissary, unfortunately. Very excited for Fan Art Friday tomorrow. You better be prepared for the fan art for the Discord people. Well, Intern Hunter Mark, I see that there are currently 14 messages in the Fan Art Friday folder, which means that I will be expecting at least that many fan arts. Desk will likely check out the Discord to make sure that I get a couple of those, but please make sure, if you want them seen for sure, to send them to the Site42 Fan Art Friday email address. Jozel, thank you for sending a corgi to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they found it very cute. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Intern Journey of Games. A woodchuck could chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Aflac, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Please grab yourself some peanut butter toast on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, would someone spontaneously growing a tentacle classify as anomalous if they splice their DNA with a fast-acting mutagen? Yes, considering that normal science in civilian populace does not have access to such mutagens, yes, that would be considered anomalous. Intern Harley, thank you for sending 2 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You have now made them a 2-star chat with another prestige rank at the very least, but work your way back up to 5 stars eventually, chat. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, the ability to become any animal I want, including Godzilla, and I can use fire, water, earth, and lightning, and I can teleport and go into different universes. How would the SCP Foundation contain me? Well, as OP as you are, seemingly a reality bender, I might just let Dr. Clef end your life. That's Dr. Clef's policy on reality benders. This is just a good long-range sniper shot when they're not paying attention. Especially the teleporting and multiversalness, there's not much we can do to contain that. So unless we can put you in some sort of medically induced coma where we can lock you in a box, decommissioning is the next route forward. As much as we don't like destroying anomalies, sometimes it is necessary to maintain secrecy. Harley, thank you for sending 3 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You made them a 5-star team again. But then some more stars were sent. Gigi sent a star to make you a 1-star team. Harley sent 4 stars to make a 5-star team. Then Harley sent 5 more stars to make another 5-star team. So that's 3 prestige ranks, and you are a 5-star team. Good work. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I was busy eating my Chipotle and didn't notice you went live. What'd I miss? Well, intern Bertha, so far you have missed a very important conversation on pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation, why we refer to all anomalies as its, and how the woke right keeps trying to give the anomalies pronouns because they're weird and political, and I don't know why they're so insistent on giving a murder monster pronouns. Frickin' the woke right is at it again. Harley, thank you. Oh, yes, and then we've had general chat chaos with a litany of glitter bomb cleanups and other simple Q&A since then. Harley, thank you for sending 5 more stars. I'm sure the chat appreciates being a 5-star team with yet another prestige rank. Why did you pick the number 42 out of every available possible number? Intern Journey of Games, because the number 42 is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. And a hoopy frood never forgets their towel. Skywarp, thank you for donating again to say, Director, I've started a new project. We're working on a machine that use my warping abilities transport our forces around the universe. Well, that does sound very important and efficient. I hope that goes well. It would give us a lot more ease with containing anomalies. Harley, thank you for giving the chat another prestige rank and still keeping them at a 5-star team. Chat, Harley here really sees you guys as a 5-star chat, and they keep giving you more and more prestige but keeping you 5 stars. It's very kind of them. They really think highly of you. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, okay, but what if I can heal and come back to life twice as strong as I was before I died? That would the Foundation kill me even if I didn't use my reality powers? So Clef would definitely want to kill you because of your reality powers regardless, because it's only so long until you use them. Now my question is, I don't know, would you, like SCP-343, like to stay at the Foundation willingly and talk to our staff and remain in containment without causing any problems? Because we could possibly reach an agreement like that we have done with SCP-343 or the Greek deities if you'd like to stay with us. Skywarp, thank you for sending a single star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You have now been made a 1-star team. You have another prestige rank, but Skywarp has made you a 1-star team for the time being. Remember, like 95% of type greens progress to stage 4, and that is not good. You are correct, bored as hell. If you look at the documentation on reality benders, once someone finds out they can twist reality to their whim, they often stop treating other human beings like they are people, and more like playthings. Many of you are familiar with the game Undertale. It's the Flowey route. It's the... I forget what the name is for genocide route. That's not genocide because people don't like using that one. What's the other name for the murder route? I forget it right now. But still, yes, reality benders 95% of the time go down that route. No mercy, thank you, Puppet Boy. That's what I was looking for. Skywarp, thank you for sending 4 more stars, making the chat a 5-star team. Again. Then Harley sent a star to make you a 1-star team. And then Skywarp sent Sparkles. So more glitter bombs for you to clean up. Harley, meanwhile, made you guys a 5-star team yet again. And then kept going to make you a 4-star team with another prestige rank. Meanwhile, Skywarp sent you 20 sparkles, 20 more glitter bombs, everyone, to take care of. And then Zachary Bum sent a star to make you a 5-star team. So now you are a 5-star chat again. Good work, Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Intern Rosemary, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Please grab yourself a quiche on your way past the commissary, but only if you think you are up for the responsibility of taking care of it. On the topic of the number 42, do we still have SCP-42, or was it transferred? SCP-042. Containment status. Codename A Formerly Winged Horse. Oh, this is a very sad tale. This is a very sad tale. If you want to feel really bad about the things we do at the Foundation and whether they're ethical or not, SCP-042 is real sad. Woof. We de-winged a Pegasus to keep it in containment. Oof. A bloody affair. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say. Yes, but only as long as you don't try to make me do something that I don't want to do. I would also probably let you test on me, but only if it's one I agree to do. Well, we are on our way in the process, then it seems, to negotiating your stay in containment. Seal, thank you for donating again. Undertale and Deltarune are my favorite games. I love Toby Fox. Yes, Tobias Foxington is a fabulous storyteller and moderate game dev. Seems like a righteous dude. Harley, thank you for sending 4 stars. 5 stars. You gave them another prestige rank, and now they are a 5-star team yet again. Dr. Sherman, since pronoun privileges are site-directed, how many of us in staff actually have right to our pronouns? Well, the Containment Hazard Assessment Team, by virtue of having personal communication devices, means you've already earned a certain amount of privileges, even those of you that are anomalous. Remember, one of the exceptions to the proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation is if you are a staff member, then you are granted your pronoun privileges. So likely, it's a lot of you. Rosemary and Rosemary, thank you for sending 2 sparkles to the chat. And Harley, thank you for sending 3 sparkles to the chat. That is 5 more glitter bombs to clean up, everyone. Hey Doc, it's Tective, a detective that deals with media anomalies. Me and my agency were doing some searching and found about 3 boxes of copies of SCP-5094 in one of our agents' homes. Ooh. Copies Are they official copies that were manufactured, or are they copies of the original, such as burned disc, more unofficial copies? Furthermore, do they contain the anomalous properties of SCP-5094? Because even as a beneficial anomaly, we do not want anomalies getting loose regardless. Miss J stays in the box. Overseer Seal, thank you for donating again to ask. Was there an opportunity to stream at the convention you went to? Actually, I streamed from the convention all 3 days, which is why the daily stream streak remains strong. Furthermore, the first day of Open Sauce streaming, the Friday VIP party, that stream ends with your site director taking part in and winning a taser knife fight. I highly recommend going to the end of the Friday stream to watch your site director engage in and emerge victorious from a taser knife fight. Highly entertaining. You can also watch the prior 15 minutes of stream where I actively beg not to be put through a taser knife fight because I didn't want to do that, but then they put the knife in my hand and things got particularly tasery. Overseer Seal, thank you for donating again to say, was there any anomalies there? I found out after the fact that the entire time I was at that Open Sauce convention, Trogdor the Burninator was there. There is footage on the Open Sauce Instagram of Trogdor the Burninator doing Dance Dance Revolution. And I missed it somehow. Disappointed! I would like to see that. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, the only reality-based powers are really the only ability to teleport and go to other universes, so I can't really bend reality itself. Interesting. So very, I can't think of the name now of the mutant from Marvel Comics, the interdimensional traveler, was in the movie with Doctor Strange. It's on the tip of my tongue. Very annoying. Memoria, I'm not talking about Nightcrawler. Yes, Nilono. I was talking about America Chavez. Yes, multiversal traveler. Intern Torres, thank you for donating again to say, hey Doc, last communication of the day, how many guards do you want around the taco guy and how often do you want him amnesticized? Well, just wait till taco time is over, send him home, and then amnesticize him on the front gate on the way out. Should be fine to drive home and then be okay. What, are you going to amnesticize him after every conversation? He'll be brain dead by the time he leaves. Hello, Doc. Detective again. We interviewed the agent, discovered they had family that were workers of the company, and when they went under, they let some of the workers keep the unsold copies. Okay, so official copies. Then yes, confiscate them immediately, because they might be anomalous. We should definitely research that. Intern Dreamer Blaze and Allied Master Computer. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Doc, what was the last SCP found? Well, intern Cup. If I go to the SCP database, and here's that formerly winged horse, SCP-042, that I told you about. If you go to the New Pages button, then you can see the most recent SCP document recorded. In this case, SCP-9946 was just posted 41 minutes ago. It is currently at a -3, which means perhaps this documentation is not up to site document standards and will not survive very long on the database. If I hop back to SCP-9419, codenamed Bobcat, this is strange. Looks like this might be another, yes, -10, someone who did not know how to post, doing a hecking cold post. Can I find one of the new rated pages that is competent? Lost Series, here we go. -10 again! We are going to keep going until I find a positively rated article. This is... Alright, at least this one looks pretty normal formatting-wise. I wonder why it didn't do well. Alright, what about you, 8554? Good old 8554. You're going to know it. Yes, okay, we got a +12. We've got an article. So yes, the most recent SCP document of proper survival level on the SCP database is SCP-8554. That is the newest positively rated article. Normally, you don't hit the New Pages and get hit by 3 cold posts in a row. That was a unique circumstance. Alright, returning to the chat. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, I'm also really kind and easy to get along with unless you threaten my friend or friend because I am protective of those close to me. Well, that sounds fun. We'll have to see exactly what you mean by that and who these friends are. Intern Rosemary, thank you for donating again to say, would you do an observation of SCP-239, Director? SCP-239 you're asking about? The Witch Child, like I thought, so... If the anomaly is in the medically induced coma that we intend it to be in, then yes, because then it's safe. Although, I would just be watching a child in a coma, so not very riveting observation, so. You know, Sherm, you remind me a bit of Thomas Sanders. Bored as hell? I get that a lot. Thomas Sanders and Matt Pat, most of all. It's the theater kid. Also, Thomas Sanders has a double word score likeness for being a theater kid in Florida. So a fellow theater Florida man. Site 42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team, please remember, we have a blue name in the chat. Our moderator, the Desk of Alto Clef. Do not ignore the moderator when the moderator speaks. If only because the moderator might be being kind and answering your questions in case I don't get to them. Or might be making a funny joke, in which case you want to pay attention for the hearty hars. Or more importantly, you might have broken a rule. And if you ignore the moderator long enough, you will just be banned for breaking the rules. It does not matter if you paid attention or not. So listen to the desk. Intern the Doctor, welcome to Site 42 staff. We appreciate your subscription. On my end, we can't actually see the blue name. Oh no, so not only did they take away green names, but now desk isn't even a blue name? Yes, okay, I see. You still have the blue shield. So pay attention to the blue shield, even if the name isn't blue. Intern Rosemary, thank you for donating again to ask, what if it wasn't in the medically induced coma? Well, then I wouldn't really want to be that close to a childish reality bender. It seems a little dangerous, don't you think? I'd rather leave that to someone else. Overseer Seal, thank you for donating again to say, do you think MatPat would be an excellent member of the Foundation, since his job was literally researching? Yes, I do believe that Matthew Patrick would make a solid SCP Foundation researcher. I mean, if he weren't anomalous in the first place. Might still be able to, despite the anomaly. Dr. Sherman, I've been wanting to ask you this question, but I kept forgetting. But my question is, how were you guys able to contain SCP-106 if anything he makes contact with breaks down? First of all, Intern Bertha, look at the title of the stream. What did you do wrong in that chat that you just sent me? SCP-106 is an it, not a he. I don't care if its cute little research nickname is the old man. It's an it. So please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. It's the stream subject after all. Furthermore, SCP-106's touch is acidic, but it takes time for it to break down. That actually isn't what makes 106 difficult to contain. What makes 106 difficult to contain is how it can go through walls and come out the other side. That's not a factor of dissolving. That is a factor of just going into a spatial dimension inside and coming out the other side of the wall. So, if you read its containment document, you can see how we contain it. It is inside a box, 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 inside a box. All of the boxes are made out of a metal that 106 has a particular difficult time going through. All of the boxes have a thin layer of liquid in between the layers, making it harder for 106 to get through. The box is also magnetically hovering, making it harder for 106 to escape once it gets outside of the boxes. But this policy is only a stopgap. 106 will inevitably escape, at which point we have to put a D-class in the femur breaker to lure it back into containment. Please read the SCP-106 document for more intel. Rosemary, thank you for donating again to say, it's just an 8-year-old director. It's an 8-year-old reality bender, one of the more powerful ones in our containment. It is a highly dangerous anomaly. Don't let its age fool you. Just an 8-year-old! Yeah, now you've got Desk's goat there. Look forward to that rant. Dean Cass, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. And hey, it's been a minute. Hope you've been doing well. Glad you could join us. Grab yourself a cheeseburger on your way past the commissary. Hello all, finally came back up for air. Busy day at work. Well, glad you could join us for a little bit. We're about an hour and 15 minutes in today's stream. We're going to go for 2 to 3 hours depending on how the stream energy goes. Rocky, thank you for sending the chat 15 stars. Based on the fact that they were a 5-star team already, they continue to be a 5-star team with 3 more prestige ranks. Good work, Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, my friends are the spirits of the Earth's ancient gardens and are the source behind most of my powers. They can be found in a mountain called Gardens Peak. I am their chosen warrior and known as the Protector. Researchers, are you getting this down? This is important intel for containment of highly powerful anomalies, it seems. Ah, yes, that's very interesting stuff. Good. Good to know. Very cool. Harley, thank you for sending 5 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Yet another prestige rank, and yet another 5-star Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I like your hair. Well, thank you, Intern Rated. Yes, the on-site hairstylist does great work. Detective again, just checked in, think. We found a demo version of 5094. We're doing a check on the code to see if it's anomalous. A demo version, interesting. Hadn't heard of that side before. Overseer Seal, thank you for donating again to say. Dr. Sherman, I'm going to clock out. I enjoyed my time attending the stream today, and I plan on joining you all next time. Good day. Good day to you, and remember, everyone in the Containment Hazard Assessment team, you have the option to hit the subscription bell if you want to know when we go live, because we go live every day, but it's always at a different time, so the subscription bell notification can ping you for that. And because it can be slightly unreliable, you can also choose to join the Site42 Discord server and get the role YouTube Live Alert, which I ping on Discord at the start of every stream. It's a little more reliable than YouTube. Although, do note, you must be 18 or older to join the Site42 Discord server because it's for adults, as is the same rule for joining the SCP Wiki. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say. I see your message has been desked for breaking a Site42 chat rule, Rocky. Now, we are not mad at you yet, but as a reminder to the chat and maybe first information for you, please remember that SCP-963, the Amulet of Dr. Bright, is a forbidden topic here at Site42. The character of Dr. Bright was banned from the SCP Wiki because the author of Dr. Bright, who used that character as a self-insert, was banned from the community for a whole ton of major grooming allegations. And, on top of which, the character was used in the roleplay with the victims. So, we do not talk about Dr. Bright or Dr. Elias Shaw, the very flimsy replacement, here at Site42. That is also a policy of the SCP Foundation Wiki in general. As Desk has posted in the chat, Rocky, please check out the video The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright on this channel for more information and links to even further information about it. And yes, as I said, Rocky, thank you for your apology. As I said, we're not mad at you yet, because there's a chance you didn't know. There are plenty of people in the SCP fandom who have never heard this information. We do our best to have grace with this knowledge and spread it, and to make sure that we don't get mad at anybody unless they break the rule on purpose repeatedly. Nelly, thank you for donating again. I must warn you, though, that I'm the only one that can enter the mountain without dying unless I am with you or ask the Guardians to let you in so you can talk to them. Okay, are you willing to let one of our researchers or a team come with you to interview these entities? We could learn some very important information that could be very useful for securing, containing, and protecting. I heard somewhat, but I heard they replaced Bright fully. Rocky. They took the character... Many authors changed the name of the character to Dr. Elias Shaw. Over time, it was decided that that was just a weak band-aid, and so that character's been taken out as well. There is a full-fledged replacement character who is allowed, Dr. Lachlan Cairns, SCP-8685. But that character is very different from Bright. It's the immortalness that's still there. And so, go read that article for more intel. Crab Gaming. Thank you for sending 13 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You have granted them 3 prestige ranks and made them a 3-star team. Also, Doc Sherman, since I missed the conversation about SCP pronouns, are there pronouns it always? Gotta make sure so the pronouns mistake won't happen. Intern Bertha. All anomalies in containment are referred to as it because they are objects, not people. I don't care if it was your best friend who got bit by a radioactive spider and is now anomalous. In containment, they are still an it. Now, there are exceptions very rarely. Sometimes an anomaly like Josie the half-cat is referred to as a she because people can act really unprofessional around cutesy anomalies. And even though I prefer it if they would refer to them by proper pronoun parlance protocols, I can't correct every unprofessional researcher. Furthermore, if the use of proper pronouns is required to keep the anomaly alive and or contained, then we make the exception. So in the case of the former Greek deity Aphrodite, who now goes by Isaac, if we refer to Isaac by it smites our staff members. So we use the he pronoun for Isaac, SCP-7454. When it comes to certain anomalies whose mental health is to the point where they may self-decommission, if we do not refer to them with proper pronouns, that can be something we do to keep them alive and therefore contained and researchable. Nelly, thank you for donating again. That would depend on if the Guardians are willing to talk to them and on what it is you want to know. Well, we will type up a prospectus for an interview, and if you can get information from, if you can arrange that, that would be very nice. Jinxed Jaxed, we are currently 80 minutes into today's stream. We said that today's stream would go for 2 hours to 3 hours. We'll see how the stream energy is at the 2-hour mark. Rocky, thank you for sending happy poop to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will enjoy that for some reason. How do you stand up for so long? Intern Frosted. I am currently utilizing Dr. Chair. I am not standing. Dr. Chair emotes in the chat. The Scarlet King made SCP-999. Well, that is one hypothesis, Intern Roy. There are a lot of people who may or may not believe that that is the source of SCP-999. If you are a staff member that has been under the effect by a type of biohazardous SCP, do you get to keep your pronouns? Intern Emojis. There's a difference between being anomalous and being affected by an anomaly, but depending on the veracity of the tests you have to go under, you may be referred to as a subject of the SCP, at which point you would be an it, but if you are just ill and in an infirmary, then you may still retain your pronouns. It depends, is what I'm going to say. For instance, as 053 the Kid points out, yes, if you're infected with SCP-008, you become an it because you become a zombie. You're no longer yourself. Will you be at San Diego Comic-Con? Intern Frosted, I was not planning on going to San Diego Comic-Con. When is it? July 23rd to Sunday, July 26th. So going on right now. No, I will not. It is currently happening and I am in North California. I did not know it was this weekend. Now, over the course of the next year, after the success of Open Source and the networking I have done with various creators outside of the SCP Foundation space, I am considering making a point to attend further conventions, to have the opportunity to grow the network of the SCP Foundation among the YouTube creator cohort. That is one reason why I'll be at MetroCon Tampa, not this weekend, but next weekend. So, if you are able to make it to Tampa, Florida for next weekend, I'll see you at MetroCon. Rosemary, thank you for donating again to say, why don't we treat SCP-239 like a normal child? Because with a thought, it could teleport you into outer space where you would die. When you can bend reality, you are not a normal child, so you will not be treated like a normal child. I think that's pretty straightforward. Dr. Sherman, if I donate enough, say $350, would you like to go to Disney? I physically can't go and I want data on the theme parks. Well, 053 the Kid, I am going to Florida for MetroCon Tampa. And I will be there for an extra week just to see friends and family who are in the area, get back to my Florida man roots for a little bit. I guess if you want to be so generous as to send me to Disney, I can go and run an investigation while I'm over there. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, I got a theory SCP-4608 was a dryad. I'm unfamiliar with SCP-4608 off the top of my head. At 4608. Codename Appleseed. A 60-acre apple orchard with over 22,000 trees, Indiana. Norse sigils on the trees. Owned by John Chapman, an American pioneer known as Johnny Appleseed. I'm unfamiliar with the lore of this anomaly. Are dryads a Norse entity? Because it seems to be coming from Norse religion when they talk about that, so possible. Harley, thank you for sending 4 sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they enjoy cleaning up 4 more glitter bombs. And after having such a long time of peace. Sigma, Ohio, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. And also, hey, it's been a while. Hope you've been doing well. Grab yourself a horchata on your way past the commissary. What's up, bro? How have you been? It's been a while since I made an appearance. That's true, it has. I've been going quite well. How are you doing? Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, would the Amulet of Unity be considered an anomaly, since it also gives me the ability to use up to 15 elements and conjure armor, shield, and a sword by simply saying, for the good of all, Unity is mine to command? That does sound pretty anomalous AF, yes. To me, that sounds rather anomalous. Another thing we would like to study, if possible. Especially because 15 elements? How are you even going to think to command that many elements at one time? Also, is it a particular element? Do you only have access to 15 of the elements, or are you able to choose a different 15 elements at different times? This is very confusing. Sigma Ohio, thank you for donating again to say. I think there's actually an entity called Troll Phase. I'm wondering, I'm pretty sure another YouTuber said it's SCP-6000, though he could have been lying. Well, SCP-6000 is not Troll Phase. I know that much. SCP-6000 on the database, known as the Serpent, the Moose, and the Wanderer's Library. So, no, not a Troll Phase. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, how would the Foundation contain Zalgo? Zalgo, I feel like I understand that name from somewhere. Someone's asked about this before. What is a Zalgo? Malevolent and mysterious entity, internet legend, inspired many creepypasta stories. Syndicated newspaper comics, semi-secret page on a website. Zalgified comics. Flash animations. No one agrees on what it looks like. Amorphous eyeless being. Personality remains unknown. Appears to have capabilities similar to Slender Man. Video corruption, mind control, a virus-like sickness. Alright, so then this is going to be the same as our SCP Foundation iteration of Slender Man, which is SCP-582. SCP-582, highly inspired by Slender Man, is called Bundle, aka a bundle of stories. It is an entity that changes based on the narratives written about it, so we had to contain it by writing a particular narrative that contained it. Very tautological thinking there. It works because it works. So read SCP-582 for more Zalgo containment procedures. Intern Blessed Toys, thank you for sending a clapping seal to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure a visit from SCP-8000 was very nice for them. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say. Also, I am the only one that can use the Amulet of Unity because it chooses its wielder, but it will stop working if they use the powers to harm others instead of helping others. Interesting. Very Omnitrix coded, I believe. Could you just leave it in a box? And would it stay there, or does it, like, attach itself to somebody of its own accord? Sigma Ohio, thank you for donating again to say. How would the SCP Foundation contain a lone world in incident, which is pretty powerful but not strong? Look it up, please. It's called a lone world. A lone world incident. What does that mean? A lone world incident. What do you do? A lone world incident, which shows Trollje being stuck in his classroom, which forces him to crawl through the vents to get revenge on his principal, but Trollje unknowingly gets transported into a different empty dimension, which consists of liminal spaces, which he is now forced to roam forever. Alright. Well, we don't have to contain that. It is a self-containing anomaly. I love those. Now, we can't study the Trollje if it's caught there, which is annoying, but at least it's not causing problems, so partial victory. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say. The version I was talking about was the one with 7 mounts. When the final one opens, the apocalypse starts and also destroys something similar to the library. Yes, but, as I said, the Zalgo story changes depending on the teller. So as long as we keep telling a story that allows it to be contained, much like 582, it is held, which is very easy. Froy, we are 90 minutes into this stream, with aims to go another 30 to 90 minutes, depending on how the energy is. When will the Shark Punching Center version of you return? I hope it won't. I did not enjoy my time at the Shark Punching Center. They're quite willing to punch things that aren't sharks, it turns out. Rave Haven, thank you for donating again to say. Left for a bit and saw a video by OK, so here's the thing, and saw SCP-3086 on someone's shirt. Does that mean that staff member's shirt is compromised? Yes, that means that the shirt has a living instance of SCP-3086, and if that shirt touches another shirt or a piece of paper, it will transfer 3086. So putting SCP-3086 on clothing is highly irresponsible. How's Brian been treating you anyhow? Subsided. Oh, Mamori, Brian is doing this or that, traveling across the back right now. And so we're dealing with Brian to the best we can. Still not big enough to remove and survive on its own, so I still have a parasitic centipede living in my shoulders. Very frustrating. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, Zalgo acts similar to the Scarlet King in universe. Well, sort of. While it may act like the Scarlet King, it also is bound to be told in the way the storyteller tells it. Therefore, even though it can be a Scarlet King level entity, it can also be a lot smaller. The Scarlet King is not malleable in the same way Zalgo is. So that makes Zalgo easier to contain than the Scarlet King. Sigma Ohio, thank you for donating again to say. Other people could get there very easily, knowing that you can actually enter the same place with the same entrance, so if you wanted to contain it, you could. Well, Sigma Ohio, it sounds like you're about to tell me, and I might save you the effort, is that we can just contain the entrance and stop people from coming in and out. Because if the entrance is just a one-way, one entrance, I mean, then we can guard the door, much like we do with SCP-3008, the Infinite IKEA. There's only one door in and out of the SCP Infinite IKEA dimension. So we just stop people from going in and out of it. Rave Haven, thank you for donating again to say, oh, so that explains why it started blinking. Yes. Yes, a picture or a text of George is alive. So, don't make Georges. Intern Shuver, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a licorice on your way past the commissary. How would you contain the Phantom Thieves? The Phantom Thieves. I feel like I've heard of this before. The Phantom Thieves of Hearts are the main vigilante group and protagonists of the acclaimed JRPG Persona 5. Phantom Thieves are devoted to stealing corrupted hearts, usually of adults in positions of power, in order to reform Japanese society. So, first and foremost, let's see. Big ol' wiki, lots of stuff going on here. Lots of lore. Members. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 members. Along with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 co-conspirators. And another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 accomplices. So that gives us, this is a group of interest, if anything. So what do they do? What are they stealing hearts? They're not just ripping hearts out of people's chests, are they? This isn't really telling me much about what they do. Let me try over here. Biography. Allies. Trivia. I'm finding it hard to find a description of what their actual anomaly is. What do they do? I'm going to look at the chat and see if someone has explained this to me at all. Intern Spinnydillo, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. See, it's in their name. That doesn't, Phantom Thief doesn't tell me anything. Are they ghosts? Are they ghosts? See, from what I know of the Phantom Thieves group, through cultural osmosis, I feel like they are just teenagers until they enter a spatial anomalous dungeon that allows them to alter the minds of people, which is psychic manipulation of some sorts. But also, can we just stick them in a box so that they're on lockdown? Can we just imprison them? Will that work? Skittleshuver. I do feel like these teenagers could just be, like, put in a box. And it would be, like, done. Contained. They use a smartphone app to go into people's minds. Cool. Then they're contained when I take their app and throw them in prison. Good. Done. We would then interview them and try to study how they are able to do what they do. It seems like the box method is reliable in this case. Alright, Nelly, thank you for donating again to say. If I was to put it in a box myself, then it would teleport to me because I would think that I'm rejecting it and the responsibility with comes to that. But if you were to take it from me and put it in the box, then it stays. Huh. Interesting. I would have thought it's the other way around, where if we take it from you, it goes back to you. But if you put it down willingly, that it stays. It's the opposite. Fascinating. Rocky, thank you for sending... Oh my, that just refreshed. What's happening here? A lot's gone on in the chat since I try to figure out what a Phantom Thief is. Alright, Rocky, thank you for sending 15 sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Grab your broom, guys. More glitter bombs are around. Rocky, thank you for donating in to say, what are your thoughts on SCP Analog Horror? Well, I think the SCP lore makes itself very apt to an analog horror theme. Lost and found footage, that is a very apt way to portray SCP entities when people come across them. So I think that is a clever way to do it, especially because analog horror tends to be a low-budget filming method, which can be very useful for up-and-coming artists. Rocky, thank you for sending a PK Starstorm at the chat. You sent them 48 stars, making them a 1-star team with 9 prestige ranks. You then continued to send them stars for 13 more, making them a 4-star team with 2 more prestige ranks. Then La Random Weirdo made you a 5-star team. Congratulations on making it to 5 stars again. While Rocky sent a 6-7. So Desk can pinch the bridge of, I guess, one of the desk drawers in frustration. Now, meanwhile, during that star storm, Sigma Ohio said, donated again to say, how could the SCP Foundation contain Weeping God? Now look into it. It can be very hard to contain. It can be summoned. Look it up, please. Well, do I really want to summon it? I mean, maybe not unless I have a way to contain it. Weeping God. The Weeping God is the titular antagonist from the Troll J incident. Video of the same name. Shown as a recurring character in various Troll J incident videos on YouTube. Capable of incredible devastation, however, it is obvious he is in a lot of pain and seems to regret becoming the monstrosity. So we would give the monster therapy and it would stay in containment. Done. Monster therapy gets the job done. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, can we use the tech from Site 13? You want to go in and get it? Good luck. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, unless I'm in a life and death type situation, then it will come to me if I call to it desperately enough, because it would, since that I am in danger and need it. Still fascinating. Usually, most people can willingly put it down, but when it's taken, it returns. You're one of the few entities who can't willingly put it down. But if it's taken, then it stays taken. That's just a fascinating reversal of the norm. I'm wondering why that is. Theoretically, could a sentient robot work at Site 42? Yes. Yes. In fact, I'm certain we have at least a few sentient robot staff members. Dr. Sherman, quick question. I've seen you wear that really cool necklace often on your lives. Does it mean something to you, like a gift or memory? Really curious. So this is a yoga bead necklace. I used to do a lot more yoga. In fact, while I'm traveling to MetroCon, rather than doing weightlifting at the gym, I will be reverting to yoga practice for a little bit. Hopefully that'll help with the rehab that I'm doing for my ankle and recovery. I have not really followed my yoga practice in a while because I've reverted to weightlifting, so it'll be fun to get back in the groove of things. But it was a gift, and I've actually had to replace it because the first one I was given was eventually frayed to the point of breaking. But yes, it's just a nice gift, followed by focusing our energies. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, Female 049 has ASMR. It is called Plague Mommy. Reminder that it is against protocol to fraternize with the anomalies. Do not lust after the Femme 049. Do not call the Femme 049 mommy. Don't do it. Intern Conway, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a jawbreaker on your way past the commissary. What if SCP-096 looked at himself at a mirror? First and foremost, reminder, the title of the stream. The SCPs are its. 096 is an it, not a him. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. We are supposed to be professionals here. Secondly, it already knows how ugly it is, so it's not going to attack itself. It only gets mad when other people find out how ugly it is. Also, by putting a mirror in the room with it, you now double your chances of accidentally seeing its face, either its actual face or the reflection. Don't do that. Sigma Ohio, thank you for donating again. To say, that would not work. He thinks all of humanity is sinners, so I don't think that would work, knowing that he will slightly destroy humanity in seconds. No. There is definitely some SCP staff members who are less morally gray than I, who are goody two-shoes. They want to use the proper pronouns. I'm sure one of them could, power of friendship, convince the monster to go into therapy. Either that or humanity ends, so I'm going to choose to have hope for the former. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say. Or if I'm trying to use the amulet's power and all of my powers at the same time to fight a powerful enemy that possesses a threat to the universe that I am in, because that is my job as a protector. You got a lot of rules and stuff going on. I don't understand how you keep track of it, but we'll keep taking notes so that we can understand better. Maybe we can help you in your goals. And keep you in containment, that way you do not get away. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say. What if echoes are sentient beings that just repeat after you that are invisible to sensors to the human eye? I think that's the case. Do you mean like an echoing sound wave if an echo comes back from what I say in a loud voice in an empty room? What are you talking about? Can you elaborate on that, Rocky? What if FNAF was an SCP? How would you capture them all? Well, intern Lugia, my first annoyance is that up until the movies, my answer was very simple. They stay in the pizzerias, lock down the pizzerias, and then we're fine. But now come along the movies, and the animatronics are breaking out all the time and doing things. So now it's become a lot harder to lock them down. But they are still big hulking robots, and they don't move that fast. So we can get them contained. Dr. Sherman, what makes someone or something classified as being anomalous? Intern Nixie. Does it follow the proper laws of physics as we know them? Does it follow the universal constants? If it does something that is not normal, it is anomalous. So, speaking of me, SCP-426, a toaster that can only be spoken about in the first person, most toasters do not have my anomalous properties. Therefore, I am anomalous, whereas the rest of the toasters are not. That's how we determine it. Detective again, we might have found something with the code of the 5094 demo. Gonna boot it up and test what might happen. Can you give me a D class? We don't have a death row inmates after an incident. Detective, do you really need a death row inmate for it? I mean, we could throw you a war orphan, D class. I mean, it's a video game, right? So what's the worst that could happen if it's played with a kid? Intern Missy, thank you for sending 2 doubloons to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they'll spend them wisely. And then thank you for giving a 100. I'm sure the chat will keep it 100 at your urging. Rocky, thank you for pressing F multiple times. However many times you press F, I am certain the chat will pay respects. The Random Weirdo, thank you for sending a doubloon. I'm sure the chat will spend it wisely. Reminder that Desk got jumped by Warfins in a trench coat. Yes, the SCP-018-J trench coat that makes no matter how many children are inside it seem like one adult did jump Desk that one time, and it was hilarious. Intern Masia. The most powerful SCP is SCP-6101. Its first line of its description clearly states SCP-6101 is the most powerful SCP. So, easy answer. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, I'm also technically a werewolf, but that's only because the Ancient of Courage, which is also known as the werewolf Ultima, which is a wolf the size of a grizzly bear. How many powers do you have? Many entities are lucky if they have one ability that they learn to use very creatively, like Bubblegum Man, who can create bubblegum, and in Western comics is just a villain that makes bubblegum on the floor that you get stuck in, but if you watch an anime, then he's really creepy and puts bubblegum in your lungs, and so you suffocate to death. But you seem to have every power. Yeah, you could cause a lot of trouble if you were loose. Civilization is not ready for an anomaly this anomalous. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, I've seen them. They're pitch black and are not affected by light with glowing eyes, either that or their minions at the Hat Man. Where are these echoes origin from? Where do they come from? I'm trying to figure out what kind of echoes you're talking about. Nelly, the answer to how many powers you have said a lot. Interesting. Intern cats are cool. Most hottest SCP? Well, SCP-457 is made of fire, so I would say that's pretty hot. But probably one of the anomalous stars, because stars burn hotter than general fire. I'm low-key eating soup right now. Intern Ramos, have you tried high-key eating soup? It's a little more aggressive, but the results can be a little more spectacular as well. Do you think that SCP-500 can cure SCP-610? Yes. You want to risk it with something that could have wildly different from its completed counterpart. Well, I'd rather risk it with a warfen than with a full-grown murderer. I think the amount of things that a child can learn from an anomalous AI game would be less dangerous than giving a death row inmate. This might be a dumb question, but what's the most corrosive SCP by chance? I mean, what do you define as most corrosive? What can it burn through, right? Do we have a corrosive tag, by the way? SCP-106 is corrosive. Let me check. Corrosive might be too niche. Oh no, we do have a corrosive tag. So we have 50 SCPs tagged as corrosive on the database. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them to rank corrosivity, but that's where I would start looking for your most corrosive anomaly. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, avoid, I think they tortured my mind, I laugh now. Oh, like the Batman who laughs, or the Joker who laughs. A lot of people who are tortured in the mentally range end up laughing for some reason. Be careful of that. Would it be the comedy mask? Well, Sleepless Dragon 035 is... No way. Really? 035 isn't tagged as corrosive? 035 isn't tagged as corrosive. Huh. You know, I really would have thought. I guess it's because it excretes a corrosive substance, but it's not corrosive in and of itself, maybe? Weird. Sigma Ohio, thank you for donating again to say, how did the SCP Foundation contain the new friend incident? I don't know what a new friend incident is. New friend incident. The Trollje new friend incident. New friend. Drink friend cup as a troll to obtain this. Crowbar, AK-47, friend help. This is not listing anything that I can figure out through text what you mean by that. So unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that one, Sigma Ohio. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say. Almost all the different animals I can become have powers of their own, says when I become a wolf, I can change the full moon into a blood moon just by howling and command all werewolves. So you're mind controlling other sentient entities. Are you sure that's on the side of good? You're controlling them against their will? That's almost downright villainous. I'm kind of impressed. You know, we at the Foundation, we're cold, not cruel. But, wow. Enslaving other werewolves. That's a boss move. Rocky, thank you for sending 5 happy poops to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will appreciate the poop for some reason. Yep, detective. Warfin will be en route. Happy testing. Mamori. Yeah, how do you intend to do plastic surgery on 096 when, if you see its face, it will kill you? How do you intend to do the facial surgery? Do you think SCP-682 is killable? Yes, Intern Circus. 682 is called the hard-to-destroy reptile for a reason. It is killable. And in fact, in several universes, it has died. Just not ours. Rosemary, thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they enjoy cleaning up yet another glitter bomb. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, can you contain the Hat Man? I can run test. Well, I assume if we give someone enough Benadryl, then the Hat Man will come and then we can lock him up then. Seems like an easy thing to do. Intern Paranormal, thank you for sending 2 doubloons to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will spend them wisely. Oh, and another doubloon. One more doubloon from Intern Paranorman. The Corrosive Snail is a cool and neat SCP. A lot of people like that Intern Abyssal. On top of which, you know, between the Corrosive Snail and the Dragon Snail and Lord Blackwood, who is a snail, a lot of snail SCPs in the early series. SCP authors really on that snail game. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, I'm not controlling them. They simply obey me out of respect because the werewolf Ultima is the only werewolf powers. There is no mind control. Okay, gotcha. That's different. Yeah, when you said that earlier, I thought you were, mind controlling them. That was a whole different thing than what I was expecting. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say the immortal snail breached. Okay, well, who's currently got the immortality from the immortal snail assassin? We should probably warn them, right? We'll get to it later. Intern Huey. Technically, we are 5 minutes past the short range of stream. I said we'd be going 2 to 3 hours. We're currently at 2 hours and 5 minutes. But stream seems to have a pretty good energy right now, so I can hang on a little bit longer. Maximum of 3 hours. So we'll say at maximum 55 minutes left. Are there any other SCPs you want to kill besides SCP-682? Intern Circus. There was the Spanish galleon that the decommissioning department dealt with, SCP-4456-D. So SCP-4456-D used to be a Spanish galleon unmanned from the 16th century. Every 4 to 6 days, an exact copy of the ship is generated in the nearest area of water that can hold her. If the new SCP-4456 instance is ever provided with approximately $519,000 in gold, silver, or gemstones, it will instantly disappear. If it is not supplied with sufficient resources within 24 hours, it will come to life and attempt to breach containment, ramming nearby ships and shooting its onboard cannons. So for several years, we just paid off this ship to make it disappear, but eventually we decommissioned it because it was just too damn expensive to keep it contained. So yes, SCP-4456-D, that was just a financial consideration. You are probably the best SCP YouTuber out there in my opinion. Well, thank you, Intern Flames. I would say there are a lot of great SCP Foundation content creators. Now, the Volgan is on hiatus, but, one of the GOATs. Mr. Illustrated does great SCP stories. Radiger is your favorite SCP YouTuber's favorite SCP YouTuber. But I am definitely the loudest and most extroverted, which means that I get a lot of attention. Which is good, because extroverted, I desire attention. So yes, I appreciate your compliments. We are doing our best in these streets to support the SCP creator community, both on YouTube as well as every format. SCP Wiki with the authors and artists, SCP filmmakers, game devs, animators, podcasters, merch makers, etc. We are trying to grow the SCP community as best we can because sharing is caring, art's communism. We can make bigger things if we all work together. Of course, shout out to Dr. Cimmerian as well. Has Sim made a video in a while? I would like to see more Sim videos when possible. Sim makes good videos. Great little essays about the community. Oh, guys. I just got some super secret, but very good news regarding an SCP short film. I can't talk about it yet. Don't tell nobody. But I have news. And just know, what I can tell you, I will tell you. I'm very excited about this news. I'm very personally happy about this news. I can't tell you yet. Not yet. But when I say thank you guys for supporting me, because it allows me to uplift other creators, this is what I'm talking about. Because you guys support the Site 42 staff, people see me from the outside and they go, oh, SCP content creators can be successful? Why don't I do that? And I go, yeah, why don't you do that? I'll help you. And then we get nice things. And so, just when I can tell you I will, but very exciting. Be anticipatory. And as always, thank you Site42 staff for your support, both for myself and the greater SCP community. Lorando, thank you for the silly star glasses. They do look rather cunning, don't you think? Raccoon Dog, thank you for gifting 5 Site42 promotions to the chat. If you got one of those memberships, make sure to thank Raccoon Dog for the generosity. Remember, right now, we are let me refresh this just to check. We are currently 44 members away from unlocking the next emoji slot for YouTube. If we get 44 members, then YouTube will give us a new custom emoji slot, at which point I will add a new emoji. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, the Children of the Scarlet King is back. Well, that dumb cult never left, but we'll clean them up again soon. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, I will lose my powers if I use them for evil. That because I don't want to use them to harm, I want to use powers to help others. Well, that's a good reason to use powers. Keep using powers for good and not for evil. That's my motto. Rosemary, thank you for becoming a mobile task force captain here at Site42. We appreciate your newly minted membership and service. And one step closer to the next custom emoji slot. Remember, Site42 staff, the day that Site42 reaches 5,000 members, because remember, it takes 5,000 members to unlock every single emoji slot that YouTube is willing to give us. Once we hit 5,000 members, I made a deal with chat. They wanted this for some reason. I will purchase a cat-made waifu outfit, and we will do a Dr. Sherman cat-made waifu stream. I don't know why this is what you wanted to do, but you guys picked this. Rocky, thank you for sending 11 100s to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Chat, keep it 11 times as 100. Intern Conway, thank you for donating again to say. By the way, I used to work at the SCP Foundation. Used to? Then how are you getting these broadcasts? We only broadcast to staff members. If you used to work for us, you should have been anesthetized and not remember us. I'm going to send security to inquire about this personally. How many emoji slots are there? Let me go to the YouTube rules about that. YouTube channel emojis. Maybe it's under emotes on the help page. How to set up emotes for your YouTube streams. Create or manage your YouTube channel memberships. Please. Thank you. Dark mode, finally. Membership levels, membership perks, custom emoji. Amount of custom emoji you can upload. So once you have 5,000 or more members, then you can have 54 custom emojis. Now, reminder, I just commissioned and received from Junior Researcher Sally 41 custom emotes. Right now, we do not have nearly the amount of members to have 41 custom emotes. So we've still got a while to get to there, and then after that I will add more. Intern Shadow and Decagon, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. 37 Animates, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a waffle on your way past the commissary. And you didn't send a message with your dono, so simply thank you for your generosity. Nelly, thank you for becoming a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your newly minted membership and service. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, I set the tree into Site 13, good luck. Well, at least it has a healing factor, so we know it'll come back. Frank Conway. Oh, wait, hold on. Frank, I'll get to you in a second. Dr. Sherman, their message is in the back channels. 37 Animates. What is your favorite SCP and why? Well, I guess we're doing it early. At the end of every stream, I typically tell you my favorite SCPs. Now that you've asked early, I'll tell you. And adding why should be short, because they're not exactly complex choices. So, my favorite SCPs in no particular order. SCP-3999, it's very surreal. I love meta format screws. It's very much like the book House of Leaves. SCP-3043, Murphy Law is one of the best characters on the SCP database. I will die by that statement. Murphy Law is amazing. And that's the first episode of Murphy Law. And my recording of that on this channel is incredible. My reading of Murphy Law is peak. You should listen to it. 3043. SCP-008-J is Jeff. Jeff is just a cool guy. Very funny. Very funny article. Spooky-J. SCP-Spooky-J. Hilarious, immature. Kind of like a Rick and Morty episode of SCP. SCP-5031. So heartwarming. So sweet. Very good breakdown of why the old way of being very unethical to SCPs wasn't a good idea. 5715. A weeaboo mall cop gets a death knife that can banish your soul to another dimension, inhabited by the soul of a Japanese samurai. Hilarious. 5320. Praise our long and merciful Lord, the fish that just goes on forever. Amen. Let's get drunk get drunk at work. What more can you say? That's amazing. And with a huge trigger warning, SCP-8980. Very hard to read in a good way. I wish I knew the SCPs that you're talking about. 37 Animates, you can read them. You can go look them up. They're my favorites and I save them every stream, so you go check them out. Along with the SCPs that I wrote on my author page. You can read my SCPs. I'm not going to say mine are my favorites, that's cheating. But you can read mine as well as my favorites at any point. That's why I keep telling you. Okay, Frank. Thank you for donating again to say, why are D classes are used for test subjects? Well, because we're not going to use researchers. They're very clever and highly trained. The D classes are easy and disposable. Desk, thank you for gifting 2 memberships to the chat. If you got those promotions, make sure to thank Desk for the generosity. Is it just me or was Dr. Sherman's hair duller yesterday and more pink today? There is a pink conditioner I was gifted that re-establishes the pinkness if you use it. And so I'm using that because I wash my hair too much at the gym, and so the color goes away too fast. So I have a conditioner now to help it stay colored. Sigma Ohio, thank you for sending an Unk alert to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will keep an eye out now that you've alerted them. There's an Unk. Gray, thank you for donating again to, for the first time today, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a pistachio butter sandwich on your way past the commissary. Did the tree scream recently, Doc? No, it's been a while, but we're still testing to see if we can get it to work. Nelly, thank you for sending 18 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You made them a 3-star team with 3 more prestige ranks. Chris DJ sent another star to bring you up to 4 stars, so you're almost 5 stars again. And then Rosemary sent a doubloon, so spend it wisely. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, I'm going into the Helliverse universe. Might be back in a few weeks. Peace out. Well, we've been streaming every day for over a year and 3.5 months, so we'll be here when you get back. The daily streak remains strong. Rosemary, thank you for sending a star. The chat is now a 5-star team. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, Sir, I found a way to fix the unclean from SCP-093. Oh, I'm interested to hear it. Every little bit of research helps. Love new intelligence. Chris DJ, thank you for sending 7 stars to the chat. They get another prestige rank. 2 prestige ranks, actually. And they are now a 2-star team. 3 more to make it to 5 people. Random Weirdo, you made them a 3-star team by giving them a star. They're well on their way. Question for Dr. Sherman, is Wednesday still canceled next week? I've been waffling on canceling Wednesday next week. Certain days just shouldn't exist, but if we don't do Wednesday, then we can't do a Wednesday stream, and I refuse to miss a stream, so we will still have stream. Rosemary, thank you for sending 2 stars. The chat is now a 5-star team again. Congratulations, Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Rocky, thank you for donating in to say, I looked in the tree's mind, and it's a masochist. Weird flex tree, but okay. So what is the largest SCP that you can recall? Well, Intern Abyssal, I have 2 answers. The real answer and the fun answer. Somewhere in the 3000s. What's the name of that space in space? It's an IRL empty black hole area. What's the name of it, guys? You know what I'm talking about. It comes up a lot in chat. It's a zone of space that's really, really big. The hell is the name of it? People talk about that all the time. Dr. Frogman or Chester Factory would know it. It's like a void. It's a black hole. Void in space. 3200. There we go. The Boots Void. The Boots Void. SCP-3200, codenamed Kronos, is a region of space currently 300 million light years in diameter, located approximately right ascension 14 hours 50 minutes and declination 46 degrees, commonly referred to as the Boots Void by civilian scientists. So the Boots Void is an SCP. SCP-3200. That's the real answer to what the biggest SCP is. But it's way more fun to talk about SCP-5909, which isn't just a void in space. SCP-5909 is the Endless Shrimp, a 2.1 light-year long shrimp floating through space. That one is just a way funnier answer. Oh, geez, something's happening in the chat. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. 100 stars. Thank you for sending 50 sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. That is 50 more glitter bombs that you have to clean up, chat. Good luck. And after that glitter barrage, we have Raccoon Dog donating again to say, If you could have control over any element, which one and why? Are we talking about the classical elements? Say Avatar: The Last Airbender? Or are we talking about the periodic table of elements? Because that's a big discrepancy. Raccoon Dog, thank you for answering with another donation. Avatar is what you meant, but periodic table is funnier. So if I had to pick Avatar, I would probably go with... probably air. Probably air. I mean, flying's pretty dope. The whole vacuum, the air out of someone's lungs is pretty intense as a power. Do that big enough in a void, and they can't breathe, and a firebender can't make fire because they're surrounded by not air. So that makes a firebender pretty useless. There's also that really great video on TikTok of Zuko explaining all the ways that Avatar Aang can kill the Fire Lord with airbending, despite the fact that he doesn't know all the elements yet. Like, if you make a blade of air, you can slice the Fire Lord in half. You could make a wall of air to crush the Fire Lord, because air is just that OP as a power. Now, if you made me pick a element of the periodic table, obviously there are a lot more of those, and it would be a much more longer discussion. Pick carbon and become a god, Dr. Sherman. Honestly, I mean, yeah, that's just... I mean, you then have control of every carbon-based life form, and so that's pretty damn OP. You know what? I'm going with carbon because of what Mamori said, and what I'm definitely not picking, titanium. Fuck off, all of you titanium stands. SCP-022-J? No. Nope, I am not. You weakest power set of all time. Oh, it's the most powerful metal. Yeah, you come at me with my carbon, titanium bitches. SCP-022-J-1 idiots. If Dr. Sherman had carbon powers and met a love interest, would that be carbon dating? Desk. Rocky, thank you for continuing the glitter bomb barrage with 50 more glitter bombs to the chat. Grab your brooms, everyone. Rosemary, thank you for donating again to say, Dr. Sherman, I noticed that SCP-999 isn't in your favorites. What happened to your relationship with SCP-999? Well, my favorite SCPs are mostly based around story structure, as well as the characters. SCP-999's a sweetie, don't get me wrong, but it's just a simple slime. It's not a really compelling story, which is what I need from my favorite articles. Still, the Goo Boy's great, don't get me wrong, just not one of my favorites. Intern Miller, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a tuna salad on your way past the commissary. Hey, I have a shark problem. I was told to ask you about it. I have the right people, don't I? Shark Punching Center is down the coastline from us. Intern Hello, people. Thank you for sending a dub to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they will take the dub. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say, what soul trait from Undertale does Dr. Sherman have? Interesting. I'm going to open this up to discussion from the chat as soon as I look up the list of soul traits from Undertale, because I forget them all off the top of my head. So, does Dr. Sherman represent to you determination, bravery, justice, kindness, perseverance, integrity, patience, or hope? The green heart is kindness, and green is the channel color. And if I were to talk to author Sherman, I would hopefully aim for kindness or determination. Maybe integrity. Determination, bravery, justice, kindness, perseverance, integrity, patience, hope. I think probably determination, just for the work I put towards the SCP Foundation and such. The determination to secure, contain, and protect. The determination to get SCP movies made. I think determination is probably the answer. Or rainbow all the soul traits. That's right. Omega Sherman. How do you like my Gerona? Intern Van Horn, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Can SCP-008 infect SCP-002? Would that be a termination, Dr. Sherman? Intern Akil, I have never heard that question before. You are spitting on some interesting research, but I'm definitely not trying it, because it is a biological entity, which means it could become a zombie. So, very much do not test those two together. Not a chance. Site 42 staff, 27 minutes left in stream. I've decided we're going for the full 3 hours, so 27 minutes remaining in stream. What happens if SCP-096 and SCP-939 has the biggest fight ever, Dr. Sherman? Well, intern Brianna, 939s are not nearly as strong as 096. So 096 will shred a 939 pretty quickly. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say SCP-058 versus 096. SCP-058 off the top of my head, I don't remember what that designation is. Let's see. Heart of Darkness. Ah, yes, a bovine heart. Highly mobile, rapid movement. Can reach 90 kilometers an hour in short bursts. 096 sweeps. Yeah, 096 can handle this pretty easily. Intern Insert. Thank you for sending a flower to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they found it very pretty. SCB the half cat. I'm going to take the half cat. Intern Stein. The staff will be very upset if you abscond with SCP-529, Josie the half cat. I won't stop you, but they will. Why is there no Air Force or Navy Mobile Task Force units? Intern Dama, what are you talking about? Of course there are. Of course the SCP Foundation has naval and air support. Go to the Mobile Task Force database on the SCP Wiki. Let me type in naval. Task Force mission of Mobile Task Force Chi-8, codename Last to Fall. Armed Mobile Task Force Chi-8 is a battalion string task force dedicated to the acquisition and termination of Sarkic entities and artifacts. Created in response to the growing Sarkic threat, Chi-8's operational scope encompasses all 6 major continents, with naval support provided by the Foundation as needed. Yes, we have naval support. Do we have a Coast Guard as well? Mobile Task Force Theta 5, codename The Bigger Boat. Theta 5 specializes in anomalies involving or threatening marine vehicles. There is no Naval Mobile Task Force unit. No Mobile Task Force works out of a belly button. Honestly, though, Desk, I wouldn't be shocked if the mole rats were in there even right now. They are digging through the lint, buddy. Meanwhile, I know we have Air Force. Mobile Task Force Delta 45, codename Rolling Thunder. Aerial Mobile Task Force Delta 45 is deployed as air support during Foundation operations. Mobile Task Force Eta 4, codename Begone Thoth, is a unit of intelligent SCP-3095 affected seabirds. Specializes in information collection and analysis, complementary field research support, and extreme cases, airborne combat. And Mobile Task Force Sigma 9, codename Valkyries, are an aerial mobile task force with a small unit providing air support for ground operations or combat against aerial anomalies. So yes, we do have naval and air support. Read the documentation next time. Does the Foundation not have naval or air support? I'll show you. I feel very dumb. As well you should, but that is only the first step to feeling smart. You asked a question, you got an answer, and now you know how to research that answer in the future, so you will not be caught flat-footed again. You're welcome. Rocky, I got the half cat. Thank you for donating to tell us that. I am glad to hear the half cat has not been stolen. Intern Hikyo, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Detective here. The Wharfin ended up convulsed and wouldn't respond. It seems the demo gives you the info at an instant, but keeps giving it to you in less intelligent manner until your brain is mush. Well, that I can see why they had to work out the kinks of that to get it to function properly. Brian, chill out. Got 21 minutes left in stream. Chill out. We can make this. Dr. Sherman, how you react if all the SCPs breach containment at the same time? I would probably react like... Ah! Ah! We're all gonna die! Ah! Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Scarlet King versus SCP-096. Intern leg packed. While 096 is very strong, the Scarlet King is a omniversal destructive force. 096 does not stand a chance. Have you seen SCP-035? Yes, Intern Seal, I have seen SCP-035. It is a spooky mask, what is very mean, and talks real good. Don't fall for its tricks. Nelly, thank you for donating in to say, I got uncomfortable in the Helliverse universe, so I came back. Well, I don't know what the Helliverse is, but yeah, it doesn't sound great. It has hell in the name. That's usually a sign. So welcome back to a calmer place. SCP-3000 versus SCP-096. Intern, MHA fan. I do believe that SCP-3000 is kind of the earthly avatar of a Hindu deity, which means probably it could eat 096 and dispense the regretty forgetty juice. So I do believe 3000 could digest 096. Is it stupid for SCP fans thinking weaker SCPs destroy stronger SCPs? Well, Intern Paranormal, what I would say is just use common sense. The problem with power scaling isn't the act in and of itself. I do enjoy a death battle from time to time. It's just there's a logic to this, and it's all in good fun. Don't be a dick about it. That's what's important. Dr. Sherman, what is your movie snack of choice? Maury, if I'm going to the movies, I will go between either the good old-fashioned popped corn. I enjoy red vines as a sweet treat. And sometimes I enjoy Raisinets. Also, let us not forget the sacred words. Mr. Pibb and red vines equals crazy delicious. The chronic, what culls of Narnia. Got the chronic, what culls of Narnia. We got that chronic, what culls of Narnia. Give you that chronic, what culls of Narnia, Narnia. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say. SCP-4477 was put outside SCP-049 cell, you're welcome. Cockblock Jesus? Why? Why would you... No, why would you do that? I mean, Cockblock Jesus is just a guy in a coma who looks like Jesus, to be fair. But Cockblock Jesus projects a ghost that interrupts school dances so that the children do not dance too close to each other, i.e. the phrase, leave room for Jesus, as the code name. So, why? It's not going to help anything to do with Fem 049, unfortunately. Is there any SEALs SCPs? Intern SEAL. I would recommend to you SCP-8000, which is basically a SEAL deity of sorts. Furthermore, you can read SCP-3213, which, while the anomaly itself is a man named Carl Prosser, the effect SCP-3213 has on SEALs is that all SEALs and other pinniped species around Carl decide to, they learn how to speak when in proximity to Carl, and they all curse out Carl and try to beat his ass. Those SEALs really fucking hate this guy named Carl for some reason. The code name of the article is Fuck Off Carl, after all. Intern Mosley, thank you for sending a dub to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will take the dub. Intern Baldwin, thank you for sending a second dub. Chat, you won twice. Good work. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, do you think that I could fight the Scarlet King? I mean, I am the protector and he is the destroyer of universes, my primary enemy, so do you think I could fight him and win considering how many powers I have, how powerful they are? You know, you've got a lot of powers, I will admit, but the Scarlet King is able of destroying a multiverse in a single breath. Scarlet King's pretty OP. When the Scarlet King was defeated in SCP lore, it was by 7 very powerful Avatar-like entities wielding 7 magical spears specifically made to stop the Scarlet King. So the odds are, I don't think that you've got the sauce in that sense. You're very powerful, but I do not think the Scarlet King is your pay grade. Rocky, thank you for donating again to say Entity 99 was freed from the back rooms. I don't know what the entities of the back rooms are to know if that's a problem or not. Well, if it's an entity, it probably needs to be contained regardless. Now, because it is a backrooms entity, that is Async's problem, not our problem. They've been bogarting the backrooms for years. They won't even let us examine them, the jerks. So, yes, I saw something about this jester entity in a YouTube video the other day. Someone made a Entity 99 versus SCP-096 video that I watched. Interesting. Intern Ken, thank you for sending an UNC alert to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure that they will be on the lookout for the UNC. Intern Mosley, thank you for sending a 6-7 to the chat. I'm sure that Desk will groan in pain thanks to your contribution. Kamulk, thank you for sending a star to the chat. They've gained a prestige rank and are now a 1-star team. Intern Chris, thank you for sending a laughing disco. I'm sure the chat will break down some funky comical moves. Baldwin, thank you for sending a thumbs up. I'm sure the chat appreciates his positivity. Kamulk, thank you for sending another star. The chat is now a 2-star team. Mosley, thank you for sending 2 6-7s. Desk will be doubly vexed. Kamulk, thank you for sending 2 stars. The chat is now a 4-star team, almost a 5-star team again. Mosley, thank you for sending 2 more 6-7s. The desk is so upset. Hashtag bring back the hand spider. I recently did a sequel video about the floating hand spider. Did you check it out? I wonder. Intern Lugia, thank you for sending a star to make the chat a 5-star team. And Kamulk, thank you for sending 11 stars to make the chat a 1-star team with 2 more prestige ranks. Oh, you were 5-star for such a small moment. Chris, thank you for Chris and Mosley, thank you for sending 2 more 6-7s. Desk is rolling around on the floor in pain at this point. Mosley, you sent another 6-7. I don't know if you are going to survive the desk's wrath once this is all done. Mosley, thank you for sending another 6-7. Desk is going to be so pleased. 2 more 6-7s, actually. Doubly pleased. Kamulk, thank you for sending 30 stars to the chat. They are now a 1-star team with 6 more prestige ranks. Mosley, you sent another 6-7. I'm sure Desk is rolling in his grave because you have killed him with 6-7s. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, I will let you in on a little secret. He has a brother that has the same powers as him, and his brother is my father. His Scarlet King is my uncle. Very few knows who my father is. You are now among them. Well, that's a hell of a family tree. Well, that's still a power scale above you as an older version, so that still lends credence to the fact that you might not win that fight. Sean Mosley, thank you for sending another 6-7. I think the desk might be charging a laser at your location. Leg Packed, thank you for sending 16 stars to the chat. That's 3 prestige ranks, and you're now a 2-star team. Another 6-7 from Mosley. The rage for the desk keeps coming. Kamulk sent you 4 stars, making you a 1-star team with another prestige rank. Mosley sent you 2 more 6-7s. Desk, don't die. Don't die, especially since you're already dead. And Kamulk, thank you for the trendy star glasses. They looked pretty slick. Kamulk, thank you for sending a star to make the chat a 2-star team. 3 away from being 5 stars. SCP-682 versus the Old Man. Intern Leg Packed. SCP-682 actually fought SCP-106 in a conjunction with SCP-953, the Kumiho. And it was a draw. Well, look who has showed up for the last 10 minutes of stream. Puppy of Interest 42, codenamed Charlie, who has been on a field mission all day, and yet is here for a wonderful last-minute meeting with the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Puppy of Interest 42 is here, is the sweetest pumpkin on site, and of course, is getting her chat-mandated treat. Oh my gosh, so voraciously hungry for chat treats. All hail the sweetest pumpkin at Site 42, Puppy of Interest 42, codenamed Charlie. Be free, little one! Alright, for the allergies, and then I'll catch up on what else has happened here. I think there's some more stars happening or something. Alright, so Kamulk sent 3 stars, bringing you to a 5-star team. Let's see how that changes. Chris sent you a star, making you a 1-star team with a prestige rank. And then Kamulk sent you 5 stars, giving you another prestige rank and keeping you at a 1-star team. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, do you think that you contained Alistair the radio demon from Hazbin Hotel? If so, how? First of all, Alistair's already contained in hell. Makes our job very easy. Furthermore, due to the intel we get from SCP-4357-J, the cooperative demon, we have many, many interesting and useful containment procedures for specifically demons. So I think we actually have a pretty good chance of containing the radio demon as well as many other Hellion entities. There we go. Stay put. Mosley, thank you for sending a good GG to the chat. I'm sure they will have a good game. Kamulk, thank you for sending a doubloon, as well as Mosley for sending doubloons. Spend your doubloons wisely, chat. Mosley sent to press F. You better pay respects. Kamulk, thank you for sending. Whoa, that just jumped ahead on me. Backing up. 4 gold coins. I'm sure the chat will spend them wisely. Baldwin, you sent a star, and Chris sent a star. That's 2 more stars to bring you to a 3-star team. Mosley, you sent them chili. Chat, enjoy that hot chip snack. Chris, you sent a star and more stars. Let's see how many stars you sent. You sent them... All right, so Baldwin sent a star, bringing you to 4 stars, but Chris is still sending. So let's see what Chris sent. During Chris's PK Star Storm, Mosley sent a makeup brush. Make sure you keep it cute and savage, chat. Kamulk sent a star, so you're currently a 5-star team, but we don't know what Chris is doing. Kamulk actually sent more stars as well. Baldwin sent a star to make you a 1-star team with a prestige rank, while Kamulk and Chris are sending stars. That's 20 stars from Chris and still going. Kamulk is sending stars. So I'm looking for Kamulk and Chris. Chris stopped sending stars at 21, 4 prestige ranks and 2-star rank. Kamulk is sending stars. The PK Star Storm 2nd edition continues. A gold coin came in from Mosley. Enjoy that doubloon while we keep going. Kamulk is in the 40s, the 50s. The hell? There we go. Kamulk, no, that's not it. Oh, sweet fancy Moses. Alright, so I can get down to gold coin here. I got that one. Don't scroll too fast or it resets and it makes everything horrible. Alright, I'm getting to Kamulk's 54 stars, making you a 1-star team with 10, 11 prestige ranks. And now there's some supers to get to before I keep going. Nelly. Thank you for doing it. Say, do you think you can contain Godzilla? If so, how? We would have to probably use the Dragon Slayer, SCP-5514. That's our kaiju fighter. We have a Jaeger here at the Foundation. It's very useful, SCP-5514. Kinzen, thank you for donating again to say, the voice is not synced for me. Is it my device? Well, sometimes my audio sync messes up too. After Kamulk's 54 stars, Chris started sending stars. Chris sent 1 star. Nelly sent 1 star. Nope, both sent stars, so now I gotta count them both. So I gotta find Nelly's last star, and I've gotta find Chris's last star to find out the total of stars in the chat. Where's the end of Nelly's stars? Where's the end of Nelly's stars? Nelly and Chris's stars are intertwining. Nelly seems to have stopped at 11 stars, making you a 2-star team with 2 more prestige ranks. That's a lie. There's more stars from Nelly, down to 13 stars, making you a 4-star team. Looking for more stars from Nelly, I have to start counting at 13 for Nelly. Nelly's at 17 stars, so that's 4 more stars. 19, that's 20 stars. I gotta count up from 13 there. Nelly's at 21. And Chris is at 53. Okay, I'm stopping there for a second. So 8 more stars makes you a 2-star team with a double prestige rank. Then 53 stars makes you a 5-star team with 10 more prestige ranks. How are you guys? You guys are messing with me on this. Okay, Kamulk sent 1 star to make you a 1-star team with a prestige rank. Then there's more from Nelly, so I have to start at 53 and 21 to keep this going. And there's more from Kamulk as well. Okay, you guys have actively broken my star meter. Literally, I see that Kamulk has gotten up to about 83 stars. 84. Nelly is somewhere in the hundreds now. And Chris is somewhere in the hundreds now. You guys are sending so many stars, it's actually resetting my ability to see on this interface. I wonder if I can go in here. All right, at least I can go back and see Philosopher. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Hot Pocket at the commissary. Look, the stream has over 200 likes now. Congrats. Chat, congratulations on getting over 200 likes on today's stream. And officially, stream is over. But I'm currently being held hostage by the star donors, because I'm not going to end until the stars are done being allotted and the donations. So I guess I'm waiting for Kamulk and Nelly and Chris to finish the job here. This, it's definitely doing its best to figure out how many stars you have, but my interface here is not happy with it. While I'm waiting for stars to adjust themselves, Leg Pack, you asked about 682 versus the back rooms. 682 is nearly immortal, which means it would escape the back rooms. The entities there aren't all that powerful, so compared to it. So it would escape eventually and be a problem, so we're not putting it in there. And even though, yeah, it's alternating between Kamulk and Nelly right now. Chris was somewhere back there. Chris, however many stars you sent, thank you for those stars. It's no longer telling me about your stars because of Kamulk and Nelly. It looks like Kamulk has finally stopped at 251 stars, while Nelly ended around 300 and... looks like 350 stars from Nelly. So 251 and 350. That is so many stars, guys. You have more prestige ranks than I could ever count, but thankfully you mostly did even numbers, meaning you end everything there at a 2-star rank. But with 350 plus 250, so that's 400, 600. And it's 20 ranks, so 120 prestige ranks. That's a lot of prestige ranks for you guys. 120 prestige ranks. And I wish I knew how many stars Chris sent, because that would tell me the final count. If anyone knows Chris's final tally of stars, then I could know your exact star rank. Oh no, Nelly's at it again. T-Dubs, thank you for donating again to say the first time today and being a member. Grab yourself some Pocky at the commissary. We are containing the entire star system, I guess. Hey, someone's got to contain it. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say I had 700 gems and I kept going until I ran out. Well, that's one way to do it. We appreciate the PK Star Storm across the chat. Kamulk, thank you for sending a clapping seal. I'm sure the visit from SCP-8000 was good for morale. Nelly is PK star storming again. Baldwin, thank you for sending a 100. I'm sure the chat will keep it 100 what you're urging. I had 2,000 gems, now I have 190 gems. And so, how many stars are a gem? That would figure out how many that was. Chris says sent 100. So that's 20 more prestige ranks and still a 2-star team. Okay, good to know. And then Nelly sent 150 stars, so that is 25, that's 30 prestige ranks before starting again, and Nelly is at it again. Time check. Lonnie the Demon Angel, we are currently 5, almost 6 minutes after the end of stream. But we are currently waiting out the Star Wars. Nelly is single-handedly keeping stream going by throwing stars at the chat. The chat is getting so many stars and is actively keeping stream going. What am I supposed to do? The chat is doing their thing. As long as we're all stuck here in a sea of stars, here's the real star of the stream. You doing good, baby girl? Sweetie Ponker? Right in my mouth, huh? That's how it's gonna be? That's how it always is.
Our roommate has never had biscuits and gravy, so guess what I'm gonna make tonight?
Ooh, that sounds good.
With turkey. With ground turkey.
Sounds good to me. Beautiful. T-Dubs, thank you for donating again to say overtime due to star breach sounds pretty normal. Huh, I wonder how many star entities there are. SCP star. So obviously there's the Star the Hateful, the remake of the Hateful Star. Sun, extraterrestrial, extra-dimensional, electromagnetic. So there are 65 anomalies tagged as Sun. So there is that. Intern Chris, what is Destroyer that you're talking about? I don't know what that is, so I don't know. And it's a very generic name. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you can hear the purring of this cat that is currently off screen. But that is the back of Agent Charlemagne's head. Alright, hold on. Let's get this cleaned up. First of all, intern Jemmy, the cooperative demon is an idiot or naive. Porque no los dos. Both is good. Desk, you found the answer for the back channels for Chris about the destroyer. I'll check that as soon as I get this camera situated. And Nelly, thank you for donating again to say ran out of gems. That was 350 stars that you sent. So 20, 40, 60, 70 prestige ranks for you guys. Still a 2-star team. And then Kamulk sent 10 more stars, so 2 more prestige ranks. So Destroya, Godzilla's final deployment in the Heisei series, incarnation of the Oxygen Destroyer, the chemical weapon used to kill the original Godzilla in 1954. What happened to the Destroya in the movie? Fought Godzilla peak of power, nearly defeated him, but finally destroyed by a combination of JSDF's ult cryo lasers, the extreme heat given off by the near meltdown Godzilla. So, it seems like we got a pretty good path to defeat the Destroyer already. It's already been handled. Kaijus like this, you can't really contain them. They're too powerful, unless we can put them into a comatose state to study them. So, likely, we're going to be dealing with just destroying it the same way they did. Okay, Site 42 staff, we are currently over time. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of stars. We had a lot happen today. I didn't even read the SCP I was supposed to. And that really means that this is my JamCon is not going to be done before I go to MetroCon. Because I leave Tuesday evening, or Tuesday at midnight. So, I'm going to be flying, which means Monday is the last normal stream. And then we're going to have to wait a couple weeks to finish the job. But we will get it done regardless. But after this weekend, field mission streams start for the summer trip. So, Crazy Cats, you want to know how Open Sauce was? Watch the streams over the weekend and earlier streams this week to catch up. I had a lot to say. Nelly, are you on the Starstorm again? I mean, thank you for the doubloon. I'm sure the chat enjoys the spending doubloon. But I'm going to start the outro while you do this Starstorm. Site 42 staff, as always at the end of stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. That's a tradition around these parts. And while I'm going to tell you my favorite SCPs, I don't want you to think that my favorite SCPs are the ones I wrote. That would be cheating. But if you want to read the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page and Site 42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can find the SCPs I wrote, as well as contribute voice lines or sound effects too. And while you're on my author page, one tab over, you'll find a list of links. Links that people ask about all the time, but then they just aren't smart enough to find, which is so sad for them. But not for you. You're smart. You'll find those links because I just gave you the hint to where they are. And when you find those links, you'll also have the option to become a Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat and donate to us one at a time. Either way, direct donations are the quickest way to help out Site 42 and its staff, so we thank you for your service and support. And if you're part of the Broke Gang, do not fret, because we are an arts community. We understand starving artists. You can still help us out by donating your time and effort as a member of Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, make memes, shitposts, edits, out-of-context compilations, fan art, spread the Site 42 signal far and wide, you are helping not only us, but you are also helping the SCP projects we support. You should be doing Mobile Task Force Psi 42 duties for the SCP authors and artists of the SCP Wiki, the SCP filmmakers, game makers, animators, podcasters, merch makers, etc. And we thank you for your support, both the monetization team and the engagement team. That is how we get AAA SCP games, movies from SCP in theaters. This is how we do it. And we thank you for your service. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5631, SCP-5005, SCP-5320, SCP-8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5320, read. Nelly, thank you for sending 20 more stars. The chat is now still a 2-star team, but 4 prestige ranks. Slushy Monkey, you sent them a star. They are now a 3-star team. Then Nelly started sending more stars again. And I try to scroll without it skipping the whole way down. So Nelly sent 25 stars, so 5 prestige ranks. Nelly then sent more stars. 23 stars, meaning you guys are a 1-star team with 6 more prestige ranks. Kamulk sent 5 stars, making you a 1-star team with a prestige rank. Nelly sent 4 more stars on top of that, making you a 5-star team. Then Nelly sent more stars. And is up to 100 stars and counting. So that's, we will see where they end. If they end on a 5 or a 10, then you guys keep your 5-star status. We will see if they are that kind to you, chat. I have a question. What do you think of the 096 short film? It's good. I like how it focuses on the researchers a bit for once. The overseers, not just the tack gear guys. What's your least favorite SCP? Intern Pinkie Pie. I don't have a least favorite SCP. I don't look at art that way. If an SCP stays on the SCP database, that means that it has a positive rating. That means someone likes this story for a reason. And while it might not be my favorite, that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's not to my taste. So I can enjoy the fact that someone else enjoys it, not just, oh, this is what I like and only what I like's good. So I don't like to have a least favorite SCP. I don't play it that way. Nelly, thank you for sending 150 stars to the David Azure Assessment Team. That is 30 prestige ranks. And still a 5-star team. Nelly is sending more stars, so I'm going to continue the outro and work toward the outro song. So Site 42 staff, this has been a Dr. Sherman Office Hours, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you have fun, and I hope you learn something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. That's the outro. Credit song will begin soon. Nelly is single-handedly keeping me here answering questions. What do you think of Containment Breach? Intern Retro seems like a fun game. I played it a little bit on stream. You can find it in the stream playlist of Dr. Sherman Gaming, along with SCP Fragmented Minds. Can SCP-999 calm down SCP-096? No. SCP-096 runs too fast. 999 can't catch it. Do you think you can be destroyed? Yes, Intern Chris, I am but a humble human being. Yes, I can be destroyed. Is Nelly going to receive a promotion? Intern Jemmy, Nelly already received a promotion during this stream and became a member. So yes, Nelly did get a promotion. Why is the sky red and the sun a bit red? Intern Locke, that is, in fact, wildfire smoke. Don't worry about it. Unless you're near the wildfires, then worry about it. Can the guards recontain stuff? Yes, Intern Truth. That is their job. What if you looked at 096 and you were next to 999? Then 096 would kill you, and 999, who doesn't have eyeballs, would not have any trouble. I hear screaming outside my house. What do you think it is? Intern Retro, I do not have a camera outside your house, so I do not know. You're my inspiration for YouTube. You're funny as heck. You're awesome. You're so cool, and I don't have any friends to talk to, but when I watch your videos, I laugh so hard. I love your vids. Intern TBH, well, thank you for the effusive compliments. I genuinely appreciate that you like our work here at Site 42. We are doing our best to bring the SCP Foundation to the people. We are doing our best to spread the SCP Foundation, and I'm glad you appreciate it. Nelly, thank you for sending another 150 stars. That is 30 more prestige ranks, and you are still a 5-star team to end the stream. I think that is pretty epic for you, chat. A 5-star containment hazard assessment team at the end of stream with more prestige ranks than I've ever seen before in a stream. Sheesh. Kept me 20 minutes after deadline. Holy cow. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say you're welcome, everyone. You ganted them 20 extra minutes of stream. That is pretty fire. Fishy, thank you for sending a flower. I'm sure the chat will appreciate the pretty, pretty flower during the outro song, which will begin now. That warning on your cigarettes may seem a little brash. One breath and then your sanity will vanish in the ass. So be careful when selecting a professional to see. The doctor here in residence is lacking a degree. Swedish retailers aren't a usual concern, but you can keep all your receipts. You won't be making a return. From 3008 in its maze of alternative packaging, eternally trapped within a flat-pack labyrinth. Minds change due to anomalies. Terminate all cater qualities. Hidden from the world, creatures left unchecked. Secure, contain, protect. Some won't leave your memories. Hear the echo of the screaming harmonies. And out of sight, things you won't forget. Secure, contain, protect. That is the second half of Keter Qualities by Music Clyde, The Black Rose, and The Stupendium. I felt it would be nice to do the second half. You're welcome. Intern Torres, thank you for coming back at the very last minute with a donation to say, fun fact, I decided to do the guard cosplay so I wouldn't blend into the tactical MTFs and other special ops cosplays. Wise choice. Very good job. Picking a difference so you stand out in the crowd. That's how you do it. Nelly, thank you for donating again to say, dies from gotta go, Rona, and fades away. Oh, sorry you got the Rona. I've had it twice. It's not fun. I'm glad I hope you recover well. Okay, Site 42 staff, be safe, be well, and enjoy yourselves, and take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Fan Art Friday is upon us. As always, secure, contain, protect, and I'll see you in the next video or stream.